Dating a single mom. What you need to know. Would I be believed if I declared that we no longer live in an era that celebrates honesty and responsibility? Isn't it an audacious statement? If I speak candidly, it is. Witness firsthand how genders attempt to shift blame away from themselves. You may find that many people in your immediate vicinity put their faith in uncontrollable forces rather than their own abilities. Degeneracy and an absence of common sense plagues today's global community, and there are no signs of that changing anytime soon. Voter preferences are clearly shifting toward a more significant role for the government. This means that they want the government to have more authority, and even worse, to seize half of your income. Numerous households now have the government as the father, primary when either parent cannot provide a stable home environment due to have never being married. Keep in mind that the educational system in which most kids will spend their formative years is also brainwashing them. A most obvious example of this is in school. Recently, there has been an increased focus on gender fluidity and the societal norms that dictate how we express our gender. This has led to a greater acceptance of people who identify as something other than their biological sex. Children are also being raised to believe that there can be more than two genders, male and female. This can harm kids in the long run since their minds can't comprehend it. Forcing kids into this belief will only cause them confusion. Consequently, depravity and questionable ethics are passed down from generation to generation. Today we're going to talk about single mothers, who they are, how they act, and why you should steer clear of them. I've only hinted at the details so far, but today we'll go into greater depth, and a woman has even come out with reasons why you shouldn't date them. So don't worry about whether or not dating single mothers is an intelligent idea ever again by sticking around here. Before I give you this woman's take on single mothers, let's step back and look at the big picture. First and foremost, she's not a good match. Even if she is a single mother who does not sleep around and is focused on her personal development. Besides the fact that she may have made poor choices in the past, she'll likely view you as expendable because of your role as a provider, costing not only money, but also time, efforts, and feelings. I'll give you an illustration. Do you recall visiting the library without being tasked with cleaning the house beforehand? You were a typical person who managed to get a lot done, improve your attention span, and do well on tests. However, you likely failed to fully capitalize on the benefits of studying in such an environment and instead created lame excuses for your lackluster performance. Okay, I'll hazard a guess. Although you liked studying at home, you were often sidetracked by your phone and your mom. Since she knew you were in your room, she may come in to ask you to do something like errands or pick up around the house. She pushed a little too hard, but after you gave in, she promised it wouldn't take more than a few minutes. Are you familiar with this? Dating a single mom isn't that different, actually. Please take into account the possibility that now that she is aware of your presence, she'll ask you to do several favors, including looking after her children. For example, if she's used to caring for her kids and herself, she probably won't want to give up a chance to simplify her life. When you're single, you can do whatever you want whenever you want without having to justify it to anyone. You can choose to spend your evenings in or go out on the town without worrying about coordination or compromise. And if you're the type of person who prefers solo activities, being single allows you to indulge your favorite activities without interruption. Of course, there are downsides to being single as well. It can be lonely at times, and you don't always have someone to lean on difficult times. But overall, it's a liberating experience. So if you're currently enjoying the single life, make the most of it. Relish in your freedom and independence while you can. Despite the weight of duty, you take pleasure in many options at your disposal. Other beta males give up on their wives and give up a lot of independence, but you're not one of them. To tell your friends you can't hang out because your wife or current partner doesn't want you to is a revolting concept that has nothing to do with you. Of course, not every woman is like this, but most of the time, for the sake of respect, others will do it for their woman. If this is something you don't want, really think about it. Dating a single mom might be tricky because she may try to force you to do things against your will. It's a waste of your time and energy. I'm embarrassed to say this is the only factor to play when considering the unattractiveness of single mothers. To those still on the fence, I provide the following evidence. Most single parents who do date do it to get over their exes rather than any sort of spontaneous need to mingle. This is especially true for those who have recently been through a divorce or nasty custody battle. During a volatile breakup, the last thing on your mind is dating someone new. You're too busy trying to survive the emotional roller coaster that is your life right now. Furthermore, their wealth is intended for their offspring, whereas yours is shared equally among you. To a single mother, her kids, and the kid of another man, your physical contact is more of a business transaction than an expression of affection. Who knows, maybe at first she'll use you, and then she'll truly love you, but it's up to you to take that risk. So either you're just making yourself want her, or there's no natural desire, or she's good at keeping you wanting more. Most of a single mother's story about her life is a fabrication, and you may very well be the one she cheated on her husband with and don't even know about it. At some point in your life, you'll be thrust into the role of a father without any choice. They won't respect you as much as they should, and you'll have no authority over them. The mother's family allowance is not considered money, so you'll never see it. But she'll probably use it to pamper herself. In addition, she is open to more the same options you are. Because a single mother needs to keep her child alive, she has to keep talking to other men. If you think you're the one, you should reconsider. They patiently wait for their chance. While she doesn't belong to you, it's yours alone. In conclusion, I want to share the thoughts of a lady who thinks it's not a good idea to pursue romantic relationships with single mothers. She claimed that even though she's a woman, she would never recommend that a man date or marry a single mother. In all her years of working with people, she's never encountered a more depressed and evil group than single mothers. The women were all single mothers and were quite toxic and disagreeable. The child's father is a person you will need to interact with. When she was out and about, she overheard a single mother bragging about how she had the baby's father wrapped around her tiny finger. The single mother and her baby daddy had a deep connection despite their frequent negative comments about each other. She also refers to an earlier point, which mentions that the stories of single mothers' history are often untrue. Keep an eye out or stay away from these ladies at all costs. Don't look back. Say goodbye. Statistics show that more women in their 30s and older do not have any children. But that doesn't mean there's a shortage of good, childless, and single women in this age group. In fact, these women are often some of the most successful and accomplished people in society. They're often well-educated and have successful careers. They're also likely to be more financially independent and have a strong social network. Childless and single women in their 30s often enjoy a wide range of interests and hobbies. They're often active members of their communities and can be found volunteering, attending cultural events, and simply spending time with friends and family. To have children, you pick a woman who is reckless with her womb. Most of you know that I'm not looking for a romantic relationship right now, given the status of events. But if I had to go on dates, I'd instead go out with a woman who is pickier about a man she dates. There's something about a woman who knows what she wants that I find appealing. Maybe it's the challenge of trying to win her over, or maybe it's the satisfaction of knowing I could meet her high standards. Either way, dating a picky woman would be more enjoyable than dating a more open-minded woman. Moreover, the false narrative assumption that every woman is a victim of abuse is laughable. They made an effort to make it sound like a great idea. If you're child-free looking for a partner, you shouldn't go out with a single dad. This person will likely be less baggage and more flexible when starting a family. They may also be less likely to have conflicting parenting styles. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to choose a partner with kids is a personal one. But choosing someone without kids is usually the best bet if you're looking for an ideal situation. Single as amigo. I still have to disagree with dating as a whole, but I can see why she feels that way. One area where women continue to lag behind is their willingness to admit that they're wrong or change their opinion in light of new information. Studies have shown that women are more likely than men to dig their heels and stick to their original opinion, even when presented with evidence that contradicts it. This may partly be due to the fact that they still face skepticism and opposition when they speak up, so they feel a need to defend their position more vigorously. Therefore, I respect her honesty and openness to new ideas. This explains why single mothers are not a suitable fit for single men. Success to you and your turn to speak. Why don't you want to date people who are single parents? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. We really appreciate you taking your time to view this video. If you did, we'd greatly respect if you'd rate it, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. In this next video, I want to talk about a recent experience where I had debated a woman on the red pill. If you're not familiar with the term red pill, it's a reference to the movie The Matrix, in which taking the blue pill leads to an artificial and limited reality while taking the red pill leads to seeing the true nature of reality. The idea behind being red-pilled is that men have been living in a false reality created by feminists and other people who want to see men subjugated. In this video, I talk about how engaging with women who subscribe to the red pill philosophy can be dangerous because it can lead to us becoming emotionally invested in arguments we will never be able to win.